Once upon a time, on the first night winter locked the northern valley of Brinwald, the great hearth went dark, and the darkness seemed pleased. In the ash bed lived Heartfire, an ember said to remember summer and keep wolves behind the pine line. Before dawn, Heartfire vanished. In its place lay a ring of frost and a shard of ice shaped like a tear. King Arvid gathered his 3 children beneath the silent chimney. Eldric said, "I will keep watch and seize the thief." Marek said, "I will not blink until sunrise." Lina, youngest and quietest, turned the ice tear in her palm and felt trapped warmth throb inside it. Lina said, "I will stay awake with the snow." Night fell. Eldric sat near the ashes with a spear across his knees, yet stillness wrapped around his thoughts. A single blink became a dozen. Dawn arrived with empty hands. The second night, Marek paced the hall, counting stones, pinching skin, whispering riddles. Winter waited. Marek's steps slowed, head dipped and sleep claimed the promise. On the third night, Lina set a bowl of river water where moonlight could reach and tied a thin cord around one wrist. When drowsiness tugged, the cord was pulled until it stung, and icy water touched Lina's brow. Hours passed. Shadows leaned closer. Near midnight a sound rose, thin and bright, like icicles singing. Pale light spilled from the grate. A woman stepped out as if the hearth were a doorway, snow drifting from her cloak, eyes glittering like frozen stars. "The Snow Queen," Lina whispered. Eira reached into the ash bed and drew Heartfire out as a glowing thread, winding it around slender fingers. A floorboard creaked. Eira turned, face smooth as carved ice, sorrow etched where warmth should have lived. "Fire feeds something hungry," Eira said. "A small theft prevents a greater feast." Light folded inward, and Eira vanished, leaving the ice tear behind. At sunrise, Lina placed the shard in Arvid's hand. The tear warmed his skin and refused to melt. "Eira took Heartfire," Lina said. "A secret follows the theft." Arvid commanded a northern ride, Heartfire returned, answers carried home. Eldric and Marek departed first. Lina saddled a chestnut mare named Juniper and followed. 3 days later, a frozen meadow opened under a sky of iron. At its centre stood a stone pillar carved with warnings. Straight meant hunger and storm. Right meant safety for the rider but death for the horse. Left meant death for the rider and safety for the horse. Lina chose the right path and stroked Juniper's mane in apology. At dusk, a grey wolf stepped onto the trail, frost clinging to its fur. "Lina of Brinwald," the wolf said. The pillar spoke true. Juniper reared. The wolf sprang. When Juniper fell still, Lina knelt beside the warm body until tears froze on lashes. The wolf circled, head lowered. "Sköll is the name," it said. Hunger and Eira's spell drove the jaws. Wrong was done. "Tell me the purpose of this road." "Heartfire must return," Lina said. "Eira's gate stays hidden," Sköll said. "Sköll knows the way. Payment has been taken, so service follows." The wolf lowered its back. Lina climbed on. Sköll ran over frozen lakes and through whispering forests. At last an ice fortress rose ahead, towers crowned with chiming icicles. "In the highest room stands Eira's mirror," Sköll said. "Heartfire is bound to its frame. Take the thread and leave. Hands must not touch glitter." Lina climbed the wall and slipped inside. The highest room held a mirror taller than a door, its surface swirling like a trapped blizzard. Around the frame, Heartfire trembled, gold and alive. Lina reached, and the mirror offered a lie, Juniper alive, Arvid laughing, Eldric and Marek smiling without hunger. Lina's fingers brushed the glass. Bells shattered the hush. Guards dragged Lina before Eira's throne of snow. "Stealing answers earns storms," Eira said. "A request would have opened the gate. Disobedience closes it. Bring the moon-silver bridle from Lake Varin. Heartfire returns after payment." Outside, Sköll's stare burned. "Glitter brings cages," Sköll growled. Lake Varin lay under auroras that swam beneath ice. In a stable of glass hung the moon-silver bridle, plain and perfect. Beside it glittered a bit crusted with blue stones. Sköll's warning came as a low rumble. Lina's hand drifted anyway, The jeweled bit chimed, and alarms woke the lake. Lake King Varin judged from a throne of ice. "Service will mend this insult," Varin said. "Bring Anya, singer of the northern pines. Payment earns the bridal." Back in the forest, Lina swallowed bitterness. "Failure follows failure," Lina said. "This task belongs to me," Sköll answered. By dawn, Sköll returned with a hooded girl on its back, trembling. "My name is Anya," the girl whispered. Lina gave bread and a blanket. "Safety stands in this hut," Lina said. Anya was hidden among pine boughs. Sköll's fur rippled, and the wolf became Anya's living likeness. "Lead this form to Varin," Sköll said in Anya's voice. "Run when the bridal is placed." Lina delivered the false Anya. Varin celebrated. That night, Varin reached for a bride and found a snarling wolf instead. Sköll burst through a window and met Lina at the gate. The moon-silver bridle gleamed in Lina's hands. The road returned to Eira's fortress, yet dread followed. Trading the bridle invited Varin's wrath. Keeping it left Heartfire imprisoned. Sköll watched Lina's struggle. Winter can pay winter. A spell rolled from Sköll's throat. The wolf became a stallion made of silver mist. Lina led the stallion to Eira's throne. Eira accepted the gift and unbound Heartfire from the mirror. The glowing thread floated into Lina's palms, warm as dawn. "Fire feeds a shadow under ice," Eira said. "Theft binds that shadow. Return south, but remember the question." Lina freed Anya and rode toward Brinwald with Sköll pacing beside the road. At the valley border, exhaustion finally won. Lina slept beside a spring. Two riders emerged from the trees. Eldrick and Marek returned empty from their quests. Envy sharpened their smiles. Steel flashed. Snow swallowed sound. Crows circled. Sköll arrived and caught a crow chick gently between teeth. The mother crow fluttered close. "Still water and sparkling water," Sköll demanded. "Bring both, or grief takes the chick." The crow returned with 2 small vials. Still water closed Lina's wounds. Sparkling water filled Lina's lungs. Lina's eyes opened to grey sky. Sköll carried Lina swift to the valley gate. Eldrick and Marek turned pale, and guilt failed to save them. Sköll's justice came quick, and the pines kept the secret. In Arvid's hall, Lina set Heartfire back into the grate. Flame leapt up bright and clean. Outside, wolves howled, but none crossed the pine line. Anya stepped forward. "Eira's secret is not greed," Anya said. "A shadow beneath the ice drinks fire until the world freezes forever. Eira steals a little warmth to bind that hunger, so the blaze survives." Arvid's anger melted into understanding. A new law formed. Each winter Brinwald would offer 1 ember freely, wrapped in pine and gratitude. That night, Eira appeared at the window, pale against snowfall. Lina opened the shutter and placed a pine-wrapped ember on the sill. Eira's gloved fingers closed gently around the gift. Frost on the pane bloomed into an ice flower. When spring returned, icicles melted like old fears, and lanterns glowed in every window, promising safe roads and gentle nights again. Sköll lay beside the hearth, no longer a threat, but a guardian. Anya's songs rose with the flames. Lina, who learned that desire could open traps and trust could close them, grew into a ruler whose warmth held steady against the widest cold, and Brinwald kept its wolves in the pines and its happy endings stubborn as fire.